Hello friends, welcome to Vigyan Ghar. So we are here with our next video of Banaras Hindu University MSc Botany paper 2020. So let's start. The question is target board effect is caused by. What is target board effect? A disease called early blight of potato is caused by Alternaria solanae, and early symptoms of this disease appears in the form of yellowish brown spots on the leaves, and these spots enlarges in size and become round to form the concentric rings, and these rings appears like target boards, and hence the symptoms are called target board effect. So our correct option is B, that is Alternaria. The question is white rust of crucifers is a pseudo rust because the rust disease is caused by the members of Basidiomycetes like Puccinia, but white rust of crucifers is caused by members of Mystingomycetes known as Albugocandida. So this white rust of crucifers is pseudo rust. So the correct option is AA, that is the disease is not caused by Basidiomycetes members. The question is Bordeaux mixture was discovered by. So the answer is Millardet, that is A. Millardet found that a mixture of copper sulfate and hydrated lime could effectively control the downy mildew of grape. So this mixture is known as Bordeaux mixture. Our next question is the coprophilic fungi inhabit. Options are dung substratum, dead wood, decaying leaves, food articles. So, as we know, the coprophilous fungi, also known as dung-loving fungi, these are the type of saprophobic fungi that basically grows on animal dung. So, according to our options, our correct answer is A, that is dung substratum. Our next question is which of the following is an example of RNA virus? So we will see the options one by one. Option A, that is SV40. SV40 is an animal virus having double-stranded DNA as its genetic material. Option B, that is T4-phage. T4-phage is a bacteriophage which infects Escherichia coli and having double-stranded DNA as its genetic material. Option C, tobacco mosaic virus. Tobacco mosaic virus is a RNA virus which causes tobacco mosaic disease in the plants. And option D, adenovirus. Adenovirus is also a double-stranded DNA virus. So, according to our question, our correct answer is C, that is tobacco mosaic virus. Our next question is Bisporic type of embryo sac development is found in. Options are Enothera, Allium, Piper, Adoxa. So the correct answer is B, that is Allium. In case of Enothera, monosporic type of embryo sac development is seen, while in case of Piper and Adoxa, tetrasporic type of embryo sac development is observed. Our question is Manoxylic wood refers to. Options are single ring of xylem, hard and compressed, loose and soft, many rings of xylem. In the given table, we can see there are two types of wood, that is Manoxylic wood and Pycnoxylic wood. In case of Manoxylic, the wood is porous, soft type, while in case of Pycnoxylic, wood is compact type. So according to the given options, option C, that is loose and soft, is correct. Question is resin duct in pinus stem represents a. The correct option is D, that is schizogenous cavity. schizogenous cavity, it is formed by breaking down of cells, and this cavity usually lined by intact cells. The question is, example of partial stem parasite is, in the given options, orobranchi and striga, these are root parasites, while cascata and viscum are stem parasites. The basic difference between cascata and viscum is that cascata is a total stem parasite, whereas viscum is partial stem parasite. So our correct option is B, that is viscum. The question is, development of female gametophyte of Gnetum is, as we know, the meiotic division of megaspore mother cell in Gnetum is not accompanied by cytokinesis. So all the four nuclei, they lie in a single cell, which is known as cenomegaspore. All these four nuclei of cenomegaspore, they participate in the formation of embryo sac. This type of embryo sac is called tetrasporic type. So the correct option is A, that is tetrasporic type. The question is, when the filament runs along the back of the anther, it is called. So as we know, attachment of filament to the anther can be of several types. These are basifix, adnate, dorsifixed, or versatile. So in the following case, when the filament runs along the back of the anther, this type of attachment is called adnate, which is seen in the case of ranunculus. So the correct option is A, that is adnate. The question is, amphivesil vascular bundle is found in stem of. So as we know, the vascular bundles, they can be classified on the basis of relative positions of xylem and phloem. They are radial or concentric vascular bundles. These concentric vascular bundles are further classified into amphigyral vascular bundles or amphivesil vascular bundles. Amphigyral vascular bundles are those in which xylem occupies the center and which is surrounded by phloem. In amphivesil vascular bundles, the centrally located phloem is surrounded by xylem. These amphivesil vascular bundles are found in the stem of Dracaena. So our correct option is C, that is Dracaena. The question is, which one of the following is incorrect for Solanaceae family? So Solanaceae family has following characteristics, that is presence of persistent sepals, two carpels, oblique ovary and axile presentation. Parietal presentation is not a feature of family Solanaceae. So the correct option is D, that is parietal presentation. Our next question is, feathery stigma is found in. Options are sunflower, wheat, mustard and parthenium. So we know feathery stigma with trichome-like branches is found in family Poaceae as well as family Cyperaceae. So here in the given options, wheat is an example of family Poaceae. So our correct option is B, that is wheat. Our next question is, epigynous flower with gametophyte corolla is found in family. Options are Apiaceae, Asteraceae, Lamiaceae and Martaceae. So in case of family Apiaceae, Asteraceae as well as Martaceae, the flowers are epigynous, while in case of family Lamiaceae, the flowers are hypogynous. But in Apiaceae family as well as Martaceae family, the corolla is polypetalous. So our correct option is B, that is Asteraceae, which has epigynous flowers as well as gametophyte corolla. The next question is, the fruit of candy tuft is. The correct option is C, that is Silicula. In the Brassicaceae family, fruit may be Silicua or Silicula. Silicua fruit is long, having the length thrice of its width, while the fruit Silicula is short, having the length less than thrice of its width. The next question is Families of Flowering Plants. Book is written by. The correct option is B, that is John Hutchinson. This is because he presented his classification system in his 2-volume work, The Families of Flowering Plants. The first volume deals with dicots, appeared in 1926, and the second volume deals with monocots, which appeared in 1934. Our next question is cortical vascular bundle is found in the stem of. Options are Nycanthus, Cucurbita, Begonia, or Acheranthus. Cortical vascular bundle is a feature of Nycanthus. In the case of Nycanthus, vascular bundles are found in the cortical region. These make 4 prominent angles of the stem. So, our correct option is A, that is Nycanthus. Our next question is stamens are branched in. Options are Euphorbia, Ricinus, Croton, or Ocimum. Stamens with repeatedly branched filaments, it is a feature of Ricinus. So, the correct option is B, that is Ricinus. The next question is Epicalyx is found in. Options are Brassicaceae, Malvaceae, Solanaceae, and Asteraceae. So what is Epicalyx? Epicalyx is a group of bracts resembling sepals immediately below the true calyx. The Epicalyx is found mainly in the members of the Malvaceae family. So the correct option is B, that is Malvaceae. The next question is Epipetalous stamen and axile presentation is found in. Options are Solanaceae, Asteraceae, Papaveraceae, and Ranunculaceae. So, in case of family Solanaceae as well as Asteraceae, the stamens are epipetalous, while in case of Papaveraceae as well as Ranunculaceae family, the stamens are non-epipetalous. So now we will see the presentation in case of family Solanaceae as well as Asteraceae. In case of Solanaceae, the presentation is axile, while in case of family Asteraceae, the presentation is parietal. So according to our question, the epipetalous stamens and axile presentation is found in family Solanaceae. So option A is correct. The next question is the family Asteraceae differs from Solanaceae in which of the following features? Options are epipetalous stamen, gametophyte corolla, unilocular ovary, and bicarpellary gynoecium. So both the families are characterized by having gametophyte corolla, epipetalous stamen, as well as bicarpellary gynoecium. But the family Asteraceae differs from Solanaceae in having unilocular ovary. In case of family Solanaceae, ovary varies from 1 to several. So the correct option is C, that is unilocular ovary. The next question is Datura, potato, brinjal, mustard, and cotton belong to how many families? Options are 3, 4, 2, and 5. So here Datura, potato, and brinjal, they belong to the family Solanaceae, and mustard belong to the family Brassicaceae, while cotton belong to the family Malvaceae. So in total we have 3 families. So the correct option is A, that is 3. The next question is the 2 strands of DNA are held together by, options are peptide bonds, phosphodiester bonds, hydrogen bonds, and disulfide bonds. Here the option is C, that is hydrogen bonds. In the DNA, adenine always pairs with thymine by 2 hydrogen bonds, while guanine pairs with cytosine with 3 hydrogen bonds. The next question is a section of DNA with bases A, T, T, C, G, C will line up with the bases. So as we know, in the DNA, adenine always pairs with thymine, whereas guanine always pairs with cytosine. So using this logic, the strand having bases A, T, T, C, G, C will line up with the strand having bases T, A, G, C, G. So the correct option is A. The question is, molybdenum is a component of enzyme. As we know, the molecular nitrogen fixation takes place by the nitrogenase enzyme complex. This complex can be separated into two components, that is iron protein and molybdenum iron protein. So the correct option is A, that is nitrogenase. The question is, a lipid bilayer is held together by. The correct answer is hydrophobic force. Hydrophobic force, it is a force exerted by hydrogen bonded network of water molecules that brings two nonpolar surfaces together by excluding water between them. So, a lipid bilayer, it is made up of two lipid monolayers which form a two-dimensional sheet held together by hydrophobic forces. Hence, the correct option is D. The question is, the end product of glycolysis is, as we know, stages of cellular respiration starts with conversion of glucose to pyruvate. This step is known as glycolysis. In this step, 1 mole of glucose is converted into 2 moles of pyruvate. So the correct option is D, that is pyruvate. The question is, the isoenzyme lactate dehydrogenase is a. The correct option is A, that is tetramer, because it contains 4 polypeptide chains. When animal tissues cannot be supplied with sufficient amount of oxygen to support aerobic conditions of pyruvate and NADH produced in the glycolysis, NAD+ is regenerated from NADH by the reduction of pyruvate to lactate. This reduction of pyruvate is catalyzed by the enzyme called lactate dehydrogenase. The question is, proteins are post-translationally modified in. Firstly, what are post-translational modifications? These refers to any alteration in the amino acid sequence of proteins after its synthesis. For example, glycosylation, hydroxylation, etc. These post-translational modifications may occur in endoplasmic reticulum. So the correct answer is B. The question is, to reduce 6 molecules of CO2 to glucose via photosynthesis, how many molecules of NADPH and ATP are required? So we all know, to reduce 6 molecules of CO2 to glucose via photosynthesis, we need 12 NADPH and 18 ATP. So our correct answer is C, that is 12 NADPH and 18 ATP. The question is, in Escherichia coli, lac operon is induced by. Basically, operon may be inducible or repressible. So the inducible operons are those which can turn on by the presence of a particular small molecule, while the repressible operons are those which are turned on by default but can be turned off by a small molecule. This lac operon is an example of inducible operon. When cells are provided with lactose, the lac operon is induced. So our correct option is A, that is lactose. Question is, the enzyme that joins the Okazaki fragment is basically in the DNA synthesis, one strand synthesized is continuous while the other strand synthesized is discontinuous. The discontinuous strand, also known as lagging strand, is the one in which Okazaki fragments are produced. These Okazaki fragments have space between them. So this space is filled by the enzyme that is DNA ligase. So correct option is A. The question is, which of the following wavelength of light is absorbed by phycoerythrin? Basically, phycoerythrin absorbs maximum of 565 nanometer wavelength of light. So in the given options, the closest one is 540, that is option B. The question is, chloroplast development is promoted by, the correct option is B, that is cytokinin. This is because if the attenuated leaves are treated with cytokinin before being illuminated, they form the chloroplast with more extensive grana and having chlorophyll, and photosynthetic enzymes are synthesized at a greater rate upon illumination. The question is, products of Calvin cycle are. In the Calvin cycle, O2 and CO2 generation do not take place. As in the given picture, it is shown that carbon dioxide fixation takes place, which reduces carbon dioxide into 2 moles of triose phosphate. So, the product of Calvin cycle are triose phosphate. So, correct option is A. The question is, coenzymes are. What are coenzymes? There are some enzymes which require an additional chemical component called cofactor. Cofactor is either one or more inorganic ions such as iron, magnesium, manganese or zinc, or a complex organic or metallo-organic molecule. This organic or metallo-organic molecule is called coenzyme. So the coenzymes are non-protein organic molecule that act as cofactors. So the option C is correct. The question is, sulfur containing amino acids are. In the given picture, it is clearly shown that methionine and cysteine both contain sulfur. So our correct option is C, that is methionine and cysteine. The question is, which of the following is the correct sequences of stages in the cellular respiration? Cellular respiration starts with the conversion of glucose to pyruvic acid. This step is known as glycolysis, where ATP and NADPH is produced. Then this pyruvic acid is converted into acetyl coenzyme A in an intermediate step, and in this step NADPH is produced. This acetyl coenzyme A goes into citric acid cycle and oxidizes to produce ATP, NADPH and FADH2. In the end, all the NADPH and FADPH generated from all these steps, they transported to oxidative phosphorylation where they are converted into ATP. So the correct sequence is glycolysis, citric acid cycle and oxidative phosphorylation. So our correct option is B. The question is, the protein that prevents assembly of MCM proteins on freshly synthesized DNA is. So what are MCM proteins? MCM proteins are one of the proteins involved in the initiation of DNA replication. These MCM proteins with other important protein form a pre-replicative complex and license the DNA for replication. So the proteins that prevent the assembly of these MCM proteins are germinin proteins. These germinin proteins prevent the formation of new pre-replicative complex during the S phase and mitosis, ensuring that the chromosomes are replicated only once in the cell cycle. So the correct option is C, that is germinin. The question is cellulose is. So what is cellulose? Cellulose is a fibrous, tough, water insoluble substance which is found in the cell walls of plants. The cellulose molecule is a linear, unbranched homopolysaccharide in which glucose residues are linked by beta-1,4 glycosidic linkage. It has been clearly shown in the given picture. So the correct option is C, that is unbranched chain with beta-1,4 bonds. The question is termination of polypeptide chain is brought about by. So as we know, the termination signal is given by the presence of any one of the three stop codons, that is UAA, UAG or UGA. These stop codons are not recognized by tRNA and do not specify any amino acid. So the correct option is B, having all the three stop codons, that is UAA, UAG and UGA. The question is which hormone is produced by ripened fruit? The correct option is C, that is ethylene. This is because ethylene has long been recognized as the hormone that accelerates the ripening of edible fruits. Moreover, ripening fruits release ethylene, which is responsible for ripening of nearby fruits. Thus, ethylene is also known as fruit ripening hormone. The question is plant synthesize auxin from the amino acid. Options are cysteine, phenylalanine, ornithine and tryptophan. So the auxin in the higher plants is indole 3 acetic acid, that is IAA. Plant synthesizes auxin from the amino acid, that is tryptophan, from the several pathways. So our correct option is D, that is tryptophan. The next question is reverse transcriptase is. Options are RNA dependent RNA polymerase, DNA dependent RNA polymerase, DNA dependent DNA polymerase and RNA dependent DNA polymerase. So the correct option is D, that is RNA dependent DNA polymerase. This is the enzyme which basically converts RNA to DNA. Hoping this information would be helpful for you people. Kindly subscribe the channel. Please do like and comment. Thank you.